welcome back to another coffee break. I listened to a photography podcast. They start everyone the same way, and it's basically put your feet up and put the kettle on. Well, let's have a chat. And that's kind of the general idea behind these videos, is just for us to for me to chat for a little bit. I ran across a TikTok video not too long ago, several weeks back, and I decided to bookmark it so I could come back to it from time to time. And it told the story of a passenger on an airline who was upset that they were going to be on a 4 or 5 hour flight, and the screen that they would be watching movies on and things to pass the time away was not working. And they were upset. And the flight attendant came by and basically brushed the passenger off with, "I'm not really sure what you expect me to do about that." That kind of an answer, the kind of things that we get. To which the airline customer got even more upset. And the point of the video is that we have two options when we're faced with things like this. Whichever one we choose, the one we're dealing with is probably going to choose the opposite. So the flight attendant chose, "It's not a big deal," to which the passenger responded with, "It's the end of the world," and was just irate. Now, if the flight attendant had done something different, if they had treated it like the end of the world, it would have sounded something like this, according to this TikTok video. And that is, I'm really sorry that you're having problems. I know how frustrating it can be to be on a long flight like this. If you will give me a little time, I will see if there is another seat that I can move you to once we get in the air. And in the meantime, I'll be happy to bring you some snacks that we reserve for our first class passengers. So the flight attendant chose, "It's the end of the world. What can I do to help you?" And the passenger then said, "Well, it's not that big a deal." Now, that hit home to me because I don't often open up to people about things that are bothering me. I usually keep it inside. I don't share it much. But every once in a while, there comes a time when you're allowed to sort of speak your mind, talk about something that's bothering you. And that came up for me, a couple of weeks ago. And the person that I was talking to, their response to me was, "It's not a big deal," which made me even more angry at the thing that I was angry about already, because now to me it's the end of the world. And when I get like that, most of us do, when I get like that, it sits with me for days. I go over it in my head. I have that conversation again, and the things that I wish I had said, and blah, 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 blah. We've all done that in the classroom. You got two choices when it comes to kids in your classroom and the behavior that they exhibit. One is to blow it off as "it's not a big deal," to which the student will respond with, "It's the end of the world. Let me show you what that looks like." Or you can choose to respond with a token that says, "It's the end of the world. What can I do for you? How can I help you? Let's step out in the hallway. Let's talk about this for just a second." We get so busy trying to get class started or trying to get things rolling that we brush off students. Where if we said to them, "Look, I know you're upset, or I know this is bothering you, and I'm just going to let the rest of the class sit here for a minute. What I'm doing is not really that important. Let's talk about this," that student would automatically de-escalate. I'm not going to say it's going to solve your problem, but the student is going to de-escalate, because now it's the end of the world to you. It's become not a big deal to them. So I challenge you as you move into next week, what token are you going to use? Are you going to be, "It's not a big deal," and get the end of the world? Or are you going to choose "It's the end of the world" and hopefully get "It's not a big deal"? We'll see you next time.